Hey guys, welcome back. My name's Stu, and this is Route 66 for Rollercoaster Tycoon Classic, a scenario that I made myself. Situated along the Route 66 highway sits this old ghost town. A number-loving developer, that's me, has tasked you with creating a theme park and would love the coasters to fit inside the 6x6 footprints of the old town buildings. So let me just turn everything off a second. So when you start up, you've just got those footprints there. Your objective to have 10 different types of roller coasters operating in your park, each with an excitement value of at least 6.00. So, as I said before, there's no way of policing that. You can build the coasters any way you want, as long as you've got 10 different ones and they're over 6 excitement, it'll pass the scenario. But I wanted to have something in order to show off the 6x6 designs I've been working on. So we've got 11 roller coasters at the moment, I think, and a few other rides as well. But at least 2 of them are on there. There you go. I've stopped and I've put them back into test and toggled one of the settings so it doesn't show up. So the game doesn't think we've got that. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get them all up and running. So we're going to pass the scenario, and then I'll go around them one by one and show you any little things that I'm particularly proud of, or insights into the building process, or whatever I can think of as we're going round. There is a separate video for each and every one of these designs. The scenario download is in the video description, and the track design download is in the video description for the video for that ride. All of them are on RCT Go, so fill your boots. Okay, let's open them all up. Just have to wait for them all to test now. There you go, just waiting now. So we're waiting on Kindercar and Dr. Funk. So Kindercar is what pretty much started this whole ball rolling. So I designed this 6x6 Giga Coaster. And one thing I will say though, just like a disclaimer, is whilst the coasters themselves are all 6x6, some of the scenery objects do hang outside that 6x6 area. For example, on the Kindercar, you see the sign on the front, just there? That hangs over slightly. So if I get a little wall there, see? That's on the outside on the path. And there's a few other rides. All the rides probably have got something similar to that, where they just hang outside. But the actual coaster themselves, hang on, let me put that on test. So it goes up and running. Let's put that on test so it goes up and running. Otherwise, we're going to be waiting here for ages, because the guests aren't going to go on there because it's got no stats and they don't know if it's any good. Right, there you go. So they're up and running. So yeah, so all the coasters are 6x6, but some of the scenery objects do hang out over the edges slightly. I could have made sure that they all the scenery objects fitted inside the 6x6, but it just would have made each one look a little worse. And do you know what? The goal is for the coasters to be 6x6, not the scenery. So that's fine. Just waiting for them to come back. The stats. This one's taking a bit longer. Nope. There you go, and we've passed it. Stu! Awesome sauce. Right then, let me take you through each coaster one by one and tell you anything interesting I can think of. Okay, so first up then, Kindercar. We've seen this one. I did a tutorial on it. This is like a play on words. So there's a real life coaster called Kindercar. And so this one is Kindercar, so it's a lot smaller. So Kinder is German for child, I believe. And also you could pronounce it as kinder as well. You know, it works both ways. So good stats on that. Don't worry about the lateral G. It's not affecting it. Guests love it. Okay, so next up then, Tiny Tubs. So it's a Virginia reel. Decent stats on that. There's There is a kind of Virginia Reel-esque roller coaster in a park on the east coast of England that at some point, if I'm ever in that area, I'd like to visit it. Technically, it's not really a coaster. I think it's powered, but I think it still would be kind of cool anyway. So I think it's called Tyrolean Tubs. So this one's kind of inspired in a way. Doesn't look anything like it, I don't believe. But yeah, I like the way the design is. I think it looks cool. One thing about these mouse coasters, and I'd include these in the mouse coasters, the other ones would be this one, this one, this one, this one. Not so much that one because it has a higher drop requirement. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. They would all work on the exact same design. So if you were to save the design and delete the track and build the other tracks in that, they would all work fine. Okay, so this one then is a twister. It's basically the same design as Kinder Car, although there is a brake just there. So is it going to go around again? So watch it when it goes over the brake, just slows it down slightly in order to reduce the lateral G. So this one then is on 7 circuits. Kinder Car is on 3. So I can't remember off the top of my head whether it needs all 7. It probably doesn't. I'm sure 4 or 5 would work. Maybe they won't. I don't know. But yeah, with this one, so this is kind of like the Hulk in Islands of Adventures, in so much that it's a twister and it's green. It's a B&M twister and it's green. So I've gone for this. I've called it Dr. Funk because I did that weird thing on top, and then I didn't know what else to do. Okay, so one of the first of the non-coaster designs. So this one then is called Minico, and weirdly, it does actually, the excitement gets worse when you increase the laps on this one. So Minico is obviously a play on words of Monaco. Now, I didn't actually, it's kind of a happy accident, really, that it kind of does look like a mini version of Monaco. So you've got the start-finish straight, then you've got the up section, then you've got some hairpins going down, then you've got the tunnel, and then you've got like the hairpins at the back. You know, honestly, if you squint a bit, it might as well be the real Monaco. Then we've got a Cheshire Cats then called Cat House. So Cat House is well, it's do you know what? I'm not going to tell you what it is. You either know or you don't know. Funny story, actually. We had a new boiler a few months ago, and I was boxing the boiler in, and I wanted to have an access for the control panel. So I bought this this hole saw off Lex Luthor's website because it needed to be a certain size. So I was out the front drilling this hole saw, and one of the neighbours was walking past, and she asked me if I was building a cat house because for our actual cats, I don't think she realised what a cat house also means. Anyway, so yeah, it's a Cheshire Cat rides. I've never really built them that much in scenarios, so having something like this that you can just plonk down is great. Same with the go-karts and things like that. And then we've got Nyala, which I think is a type of goat. So if you look at the spikes, it's kind of like horns. So you've got the chain lift spike on one side, and then you've got a half loop on the other side. So this is an inverted vertical shuttle, but this design will also work on the on the other one, which is, where's it? This type of coaster, what's that called? An inverted shuttle coaster. The only difference is that one hasn't got the vertical chain lift track, so it just comes up at a slight angle. But you can use that design on there. So, but rather than doing that, I did a different design for that coaster. So let's have a look at this one. Decent stats on that, and that's set to 4 circuits. Is there anything special about this one? No. Okay, cool. So, and then we've got the third and final, I believe. Yeah, non-coaster track. So this is called Littlefoot. It's obviously a play on words of Bigfoot. Decent excitement on that. So yeah, it just goes up and around and about a bit. So it's sort of meant to be kind of like a construction site sort of thing. Again, having something like this where you can just plonk it down in a small area of the park is great. And then we've got one of the ones. Oh, I've missed one out actually. So this one then, Chateau. So I've called it that because it kind of looked a bit sort of, I don't know, like a bit sort of European. And a chateau, I googled what the exact meaning of that is, because obviously it's a house, but what type of house? Apparently, it's a house where the design is primarily focused on defense rather than residence. So I thought that was pretty cool, considering some of the tricks that I used on this one. Now, when I designed it, I was a little bit short on the excitement, so I managed to put a couple of little tracks. Can you see them up the top there? And then I deleted the track back, and it was all part of the same track. So have a look at the excitement. There you go. But when I saved the design, it didn't save those bits of track in. So what I did was I also created where is it? It's a limb coaster. I also created this here, just so that I can place that one down, then I can place the other ones down, delete the red track, and you're away to go. So yeah, so I put in loads of scenery there, and let's turn the scenery off a second so you can see some of the extra pathing that's hidden around, just to give it a little bit of a boost as well, plus the track, and that boosts it up nicely over the excitement. So let's have a look at the actual design. So it comes out, it does a cutback, then it goes into the loop, but it's not going fast enough where it completes the loop. If it did, it would crash. So yeah, as I found out many times during testing in my workspace, it's not launching now. It would be typical. There you go. It's typical that it happens on this. So this one is pretty cool. So unlike the looping coaster, when it comes back to the station, it doesn't go out the back. So with this one, you're able to have the full length station. So you've got a much longer train. So that's really cool. So, at 4 passengers per car, so at 16 passengers per train, I mean, something like this would work well in a normal scenario, although with all that scenery and pathing, it's kind of expensive. So what have we got down here then? We've got looping coaster. Now this one is actually one of my favorites, due to the simplicity of it. So I was working on a few designs. There was another design where instead of this bit here, there's another loop. And I was trying a few things, and I just couldn't get it to look nice. And then I tried this, and it worked. And a lot of it's just trial and error. I've had a lot of fun building them. I've got a separate workspace where I've been just plonking them down. If you're interested, let me know, and I can maybe show you that on a separate video. But yeah, the simplicity of it is cool. So scarab, which is a type of dung beetle that the Egyptians loved, and we did a quiz, and we were on holiday. We did a cruise, and we actually won the quiz a couple of times, and we almost won another couple of times. And one of the times we almost won is one of the questions was what type of, I don't know, insect or something the Egyptians loved. So I worshipped. So I put dung beetle down, but they wouldn't accept that. They wanted scarab, which, oh well, can't win them all. So yeah, cool, like that design. And then over here, then this one's a simple one. I didn't want to have too many mouse coasters because they're kind of a cop out. So this one then, Die Mouse. So I wanted something sort of like a German sort of themed name, as like maybe a sort of a shout out because of the way it looks, like maybe a shout out to sort of like the traveling coasters that they have, that they're quite sort of famous for. So I just settled for Die Mouse, and then when I which obviously is the mouse. So when I googled it, there's actually like a cartoon in Germany called that, and the color of the mouse is orange and brown, which was the color I'd already made that. So I don't know if I've seen it somewhere before and subconsciously I just picked it, or whether it's just a massive coincidence. So yeah, it goes up, it comes down. You've got a little brake section just here, so it slows down. I had to tinker with this a little bit because sometimes they were bunching up, so I've increased the number there. They are kind of coming in. Let's have a look at the speed. Is that a little too fast? But as long as the trains are moving, as long as the cars are moving, I'm sure that's fine. Yeah, so what was the stats on that? Good excitement on that. And then after that, then I think the one I built was this one. So the junior course, I built this really cool design. And it was kind of themed around like a firehouse, like where firemen hang out or firewomen hang out, the engines are parked and all that. And it was called Firebug. And then when I went to place it inside the scenario, I realized it was 7x6, not 6x6. I was gutted. So I went back to the drawing board, and then I came up with this. And I think it looks really cool. So it's called Roach Hotel, which is a play on. There's an American bug trap called a Roach Motel. So if I turn off scenery, you see that it goes inside and outside, etc., etc. And obviously, because it's the ladybug trains, that's the bug aspect of it. It's set to 7 circuits, which is a lot. So, I mean, you're not going to earn a lot of profit from these coasters when they're set to that many circuits. Just as well, we're charging for entrance. And I'm also charging £66 as well, which I didn't realize when I made it, but some of the guests coming in, oh, there you go, 76, 86. So these are fine. Some of them, oh, there you go, 56. They can't come in. They haven't got enough money. So that's a good way of, I've told you this tip before, but that's a good way of stopping your park from getting too many guests in. If you don't want too many guests, is to just set the price slightly higher than what the lowest amount they've got is. So yeah, I like this design. It looks I think it looks fab. One thing is, I noticed when I saved it and put the design in, the vacancy sign did default to the name of the coaster. One other thing as well, when I built that track for Chateau to get those little tracks on there, it did delete these little railings, so I had to build them back as well. That's cool. It's only a 2-minute job. And then, so what have we got then? I think the next one out was this one, Modern Mouse. So I really like the idea of having a hotel coaster, and that's something I might use again when I do other scenarios, because just for the sort of the eye candy. So I've been playing about with other designs, and the first one I tried was hideous, and then I did this one, and I think it looks really cool. The only downside is this section here where it comes out. There's not really much I could do. I did think about having like maybe making this into like a balcony or something, and then having maybe like a roof above there to sort of hide it, but nothing quite worked. On OpenRCT2, yeah, you'll be able to place something quite easily, because you can turn off the sort of the collision detection or whatever it's called with the sprites, with the scenery. Yeah, but I like the way this turned out. So like I said, I didn't want to go too overboard with the mouse coasters. So this one, I wanted this one because you've got some different track pieces. You've got that slopey down track, or slopey up, however you're feeling. And then there's a little break at the end, or just as it comes down. So let's have a look at the speed. So it comes down and then a little brake just there, just to take it down so it doesn't trip the lateral G. That's cool. And then this one then, so as I said, the vertical shuttle, it did inverted shuttle, sorry. You can use the same design as Nyala, but I wanted something slightly different. So I was playing about with this design. I just couldn't quite get it to work because I couldn't get the path in. And then I realized that, hang on, I don't need the full width. So I can use, let's turn off the scenery. So I've got the exit just on the other side of the station. So if you don't include the exit, it's 5x6. But I do include, when I do the 6x6 or 10x10 or whatever, I always include the buildings and the pathing. Sometimes I do see people posting about a coaster that they say is like this by this, and then the pathing does, and it triggers me. I tend not to comment on it, but secretly it triggers me. So yeah, I do like the way this turned out. You know, it's a bit of a mismatch. There was a time where I just couldn't, everything would just be the same block type, but I'm starting to mix things up. I'm not letting it, not letting the OCD get to me too much. And there's a space as well this side for a couple of little shops, or in this case, a kiosk and a cash machine. And there's a space the other side for some seating areas. Maybe a first aid stall would be good in there. In the looping coaster, there's a couple of little spaces there for shops as well. I didn't mention as well the little pyramids as well. Now scarabs are a type of dung beetle, so maybe these brown pyramids, maybe they're poo. I don't know. I haven't really thought too much about the lore of that coaster. Maybe they are poo pyramids. Yeah, what are you going to do about it? You know, what if they are? Yeah, so then this one, yeah, I've gone overboard with the hotel. And again, this one, see these little bits on the side? They don't fit in with the 6x6. They're on the outside. They're on the same as the path, but that's fine. Don't worry about it. The sign is as well. Some of the little bits on the side are, but the actual coaster itself is all 6x6. Let's turn off the scenery just so you can see the layout. So it's a flying coaster called Hotel 66, and it sort of goes into the half loop down and around, half loop back up. There's a little chain lift on this flat piece here. So if we can catch it just in time, there you go. It just catches it, and then it brings it back around to the station. The pathing, there's nothing really special the way the pathing is. I have gone in some cases over the track when I didn't really need to, just to give it a little bit of an extra bonus. I did something similar with the path this side in order to free up a bit of space so I could do that second balcony, the top one just there. And there's a couple of little seating areas at the bottom as well. Have I forgotten to do benches? Do you know what? Adding extra benches might be a cool thing because there's a lot of sick, or there was a lot of sick. I've hired, I've zoned about 3 handymen on this one section, or handy women, handy persons on this one section. I've also got a load free range as well. So they just wander. Oh, hang on. This guy's sort of been stuck in limbo. No? Oh, do you know what? Get rid of him. Cool. Yeah. So that's all of them. But it doesn't have to end there. I mean, we've got all this space. So it's up to you guys. Would you like to see me continuing? I think, I don't know how many other coasters we can do with a 6x6, but certainly the mouse coasters that we haven't already built, we could do. But, you know, there's definitely some flat rides or things that we can do. A maze would be easy. I think I played about having a mini golf course with all of the 5 different holes. I haven't built one of them yet. These, I haven't done one of these. These I haven't done. We could even add some water and do that. What else? So yeah, these 2 wouldn't be a problem doing. That should be fine. I don't know about these ones. I've had a quick play. There was nothing I could really do that looked great. Probably not with that one. There's a design I was looking at with that one, because do you know what? With the hypercoaster, you can set, there's a powered launch mode on that, so you can set it to as a shuttle. There was a design I was playing about with the hyper twister, where it actually the track, the station is built high and the track goes down below, and then the path goes up, and you'd have to build it in like a pit, like a bunker. But in the end, I didn't go ahead with that. I might actually, there you go. Look at them, hideous. Yeah. Oh, actually, I could show you that. I could probably show you the design for the junior coaster. There you go, Firebug. That looks cool. Am I wrong? Am I tripping? That looks cool, doesn't it? But it's 7x6, so it doesn't count. Or 6x7. I'm not sure about this one where it says 6x2. I don't understand. What is it? Because there's only 2 of them. Only 6x2 are actually on the floor, and the others are off the ground. I don't know. What else? Is there any others that I did? No. But yeah, you know what? I had an absolute blast playing this scenario. I know I'm biased because I made the scenario myself, but honestly, this has been one of the best scenarios, one of the most fun scenarios I've played. And because it is basically Tenacious Tenements, but cranked up, or in this case, cranked down to 6. That was cranked up to 10. This one's cranked down to 6. So yeah, I had an absolute blast playing this, and I hope you guys download it and have a go yourself. I've got plenty of room to expand, so if you'd like to see me continue in this park, let me know, and I can, every now and then I'll release, when I've come up with a design I'm happy with, I can release one. We definitely need a transport ride at some point, but yeah, let me know. And if you enjoyed it, let me know about that as well. Yeah, so hopefully download them. The links are in the description. I'm not going to show you the ride designs or the ride POVs in the outros because I've done all that in the separate video. So check out the playlist, watch them all. They're only a couple of minutes long. And yeah. I can't remember what I was going to say. So yeah, this video has gone on way too long. I've waffled, and I'm Stu, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!